First we had the Rocket and the Thruxton, but today Triumph have launched the third model in their line of factory custom bikes, the Bobber TFC. So let's take a look at the specs and details of this limited run of 750 bikes, which are essentially the Bobber on steroids. Triumph have been lightening up the motors across their range of modern classics this year, with the Speed Twin, Scrambler 1200 and today's announcement, the Thruxton RS, all receiving lighter components than previous 1200cc Bonnevilles. This helps the motor to spin up quicker and rev higher, increasing peak power whilst also lowering the weight of the bike overall, so the fact that many of these changes are present on the Bobber TFC should immediately tell you something about the intent of the bike. Triumph list a bunch of changes, including a low inertia crankshaft, a lighter clutch, balance shafts, dead shafts and rare earth alternator, a magnesium cam cover and thin-walled engine covers and header pipes. The result is that the Bobber TFC revs to the same 7,500 RPM redline as the Thruxton RS, but this is the high torque version of the Bonneville Parallel Twin, which focuses on low down grunt, so peak power is a lower 86 horsepower at 6,250 RPM as opposed to the 103 horsepower of the Thruxton RS. But 86 horsepower is a good 10 more than the Bobber Black, which is capable of 76 at 6,100 RPM. The Bobber Black also produces 106 Nm of peak torque at 4,000 RPM, but the TFC gets 4 more with 110 Nm at 4,500 RPM. So it's a little bit more revvy and capable of 10 more horsepower and 4 more Nm of torque, which should make for a lively ride when you consider that the Bobber Black already pulls pretty well. The TFC now gets a third riding mode of Sport added to Road and Rain, which again points to the sort of riding that this bike is intended for. Triumph's riding modes all adjust throttle response, traction control and ABS to suit the riding conditions, and typically the Sport mode will give you more gas for less throttle travel, which gives the bike a much more lively feel. The Bobber TFC also gets finished off nicely with a premium exhaust system from Arrow, with titanium silencers and carbon fibre end caps that Triumph says delivers a totally unique, rich and raw British twin soundtrack. Although final figures are yet to be confirmed, the Bobber has also shed a bit of weight in this TFC form, with Triumph estimating that it will be approximately 5 kg lighter than the 237.5 kilos dry weight of the Bobber Black by the time it's gone through its final homologation tests. They claim that the weight savings have been achieved through the engine component refinements we've already mentioned, but also some carbon fibre bodywork, including carbon side panels with an electroformed TFC badge and a minimal front mudguard with carbon fibre mudguard supports. Lastly, the tail light has been removed in favour of multi-function rear lights which combine the tail light, brake light and indicators, which they also claim to have reduced the weight of the bike ever so slightly. Combined with an extra 10 horsepower, 5 kg less weight will make for a sprightly feeling bike when compared to the standard Bobbers. As with the other TFC bikes, Triumph have gone all out on the equipment here with premium suspension and brakes to match some of the best performing bikes in their range, retro or otherwise. The 47mm Showa cartridge forks of the Bobber Black have been massively upgraded with fully adjustable upside-down Öhlins NIX30 forks, whilst the KYB monoshock has been upgraded to a fully adjustable Öhlins Unit 2. The TFC also swaps the drag bars of the Bobber Black for clip-ons to give a more sporting position. I'm yet to be convinced that this will be comfortable, and I doubt I'll ever get a chance to try one to find out, but it certainly looks cool and keeps the front end looking very tight and neat. Brakes are provided by Brembo with their 4-piston M50 radial monoblock calipers and twin floating front discs on hand to deliver awesome stopping power for this style of bike. A Brembo radial master cylinder and MCS span and ratio adjustable brake lever with matching clutch lever are also present, which is a nice feature that allows the rider to dial in the feel of the front brakes to their liking. The exact tyres used aren't listed in the specs, but from the pictures they appear to be the same Avon Cobras that you get on the Bobber Black. So there's plenty to go at from a performance perspective with much better suspension and braking than the Bobber Black. But part of the attraction of the TFC line is the little visual touches and premium finishing. We've already mentioned the clip-on handlebars and multifunction rear lights, which both combine to give a neater, sleeker overall silhouette, as well as the carbon fiber bodywork, which is a signature feature of the TFC range. But there's also a billet top and bottom yoke with a plaque to mark the production number of the bike. This is a particularly nice feature to my eye, with the billet machining giving the top yoke a really premium look, and I also like the yellow gold adjusters of the fork tying in with the badging and revised TFC branded dial on the instruments. The instrument bezel has also been revised with some new Triumph branding. The gold detailing is carried on throughout the rest of the bike, with a gold pinstripe on the tank and a gold chain, and even some gold trim on the key. The adjustable seat on the TFC has also been upgraded to real leather in a brown colour with an embroidered Triumph logo. Combined with the TFC paint scheme on the tank with Union jacks on either side, it gives the bike a distinctive look versus the standard bobber. Lastly, it's worth another look at those Arrow exhausts, because as much as they might sound great, they really finish the bike off for me and have a premium sporty look with the carbon tip. So that's pretty much it for the Bobber TFC. The price is yet to be announced, but given that the Thruxton TFC was about £5 more expensive than the standard Thruxton R, we can probably expect a similar margin on the Bobber Black, which starts at £11,650. The Bobber TFC certainly looks pretty special to me. The power and weight improvements are nice, but I think the premium suspension and beefy Brembos up front will really affect the ride and put it up there as a special bike. Like I said though, I'm not sure how comfortable those clip-ons will be when combined with the Bobber seat position, but I'm sure Triumph have tested it out plenty, and ultimately, this is a bike built for short, quick, fun blasts rather than motorway touring. What do you guys make of it? Do you think it looks like it'll be worth it over the Bobber Black? And which bike would you like to see Triumph give the TFC treatment next? Personally, I'd love to see a Speed Twin, especially as there's no R model at present. I'm sure it'd look awesome with some serious suspension and radially mounted brakes, but I'd also love to know if Triumph are going to give their bikes outside of the modern classic range their TFC treatment, like the Street or Speed Triple. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm heading out to EICMA this week, so I'll be sure to report back with some first-hand footage of this bike. So if you want to see those videos, hit subscribe and I'll catch you next time.